And I did actually go to his apartment one night, which was really cool. He gave me mud cake.
G'day, g'day. This is Chris McThrashy here, playing Hidden Intent, playing a Motorhead tribute as well. Do a bit of Lemmy impersonations, and I'm with
Cat Wilder. I am a solo metal artist, I guess now.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, and I also sing in a Motley Crue tribute band. But yeah, what are we here today for, Chris?
We're going to talk about our good old mate, Mr. Lemmy Kilmister. We're going to talk a little bit about him and his sort of influence on us. But I think though you have some pretty cool background stories with Lemmy because you actually met him. I didn't, but you did. So you can tell us about that.
Cool. Yeah, well, yeah, today we're here to talk about Lemmy, seeing it is the 8th of May, Motorhead Day. So, yeah, I used to live in LA for a while, and I think it was either the first or the second night that I got to LA, I went to the Rainbow, and obviously Lemmy was there. And so I just went up and said hi, and he offered to buy me a drink. So he was the first person in LA to buy me a drink. Yeah, and he was just such a lovely guy. And I also met his best mate, Scotty, that night as well. I'm actually still in contact with Scotty. He's a great guy as well. So yeah, just spent, a lot of nights at the Rainbow hanging out with them. And yeah, he was just such a amazing, great person. And obviously, such a huge influence on the metal world. So yeah, and I do have a few other stories to tell, but how about you, Chris? What's some of your great, I don't know, how Lemmy inspired you and, influenced you as a musician?
Well, I'm an idiot, cat, because I got into Motorhead a lot later on in life. So it always happens with me. It happened with Mortal Sin as well, where I got into them. Right at the end of right when they went on hiatus is when I got into Mortal Sin, and with Motorhead after they disbanded. I got into them. I did go and see Motorhead once though, when I was
Oh, when was
18.
that?
I reckon it was 18. Wow. So I'm like 36 now. So yeah, around 18 years ago. It was one of their last tour. I'm not sure if it was the second to last tour or the last tour they did in Australia, but I did go see
Yeah.
them. And all I can remember is going with one of my best mates, Smale. He is a good graphic designer friend of mine and ended up being one of my housemates. But we went together. My dad dropped us off. And I remember we drank Jack Daniels the whole way down there. Because I just thought, well, I'm
Awesome.
going to go see Motorhead. I'm going to drink like, typical 18-year-old. I'm going to drink as much Jack Daniels as possible. And because of that, I can't remember barely any of the night. And I'm like spewing about it now because I'm like become this. I went through a full ADHD, like tunnel vision Motorhead moment a few years back. And it changed the way I sing actually. So it really
Yeah,
helped me to
I've
define
noticed your
that.
microphone position.
Yeah. Yeah, I do it in the tribute band, and I also do it with Hidden Intent now, and a few people have said it. They're like, "Oh, yeah, I've noticed you have, like, the mic like that now," and I'm like, "Yeah, I played a Motorhead tribute," and that usually, like, answers their question. Yeah.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I think I actually went to it might have been the same tour. I went to the Melbourne show, and that was actually after I lived in LA, so I have this lovely pass that Lemmy gave me.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
mad.
so so I caught up with him that night at the gig. He also gave me a Motorhead T-shirt, and absolutely spewing because I went to alter it one day and I completely messed it up. So unfortunately, I don't have that anymore. But I do have this, which is a really nice memory because it's something Lemmy gave me. So keep it hanging up in my bedroom.
Yeah, that's pretty
Um,
cool.
so yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the fact that he lived and breathed rock and roll. Like he said in his book that like a
Yeah.
lot of musicians get changed after they finish, get home and go back to put their office works. Like he was the same off stage as he was on stage in terms of like how he
Oh,
dressed and the
definitely.
imagery, and he lived and breathed rock and roll. That's something that stuck out to me. And I love how he just didn't give a fuck. Like in terms of
Yeah.
just like, this is the way I sing. If you don't like it, get fucked.
Let's talk a bit about the Lemmy Day. Did you start that? Were you the one to sort of start organizing that, or how did that come about? Because they're a
Well,
really fun day and
yeah, they're always a bit of fun. I enjoy traveling to Melbourne every year, and that's always a bit of fun. And just do a bit of sightseeing on the day and stuff. But yeah, it all started
yeah.
with Dave Collins. He I think he
Mhm.
used to book the bands at the Bendy and then just recently at Stay Gold and I think the Gasso as well. So it's kind
Yeah.
of his event that he's sort of had other people work on it with him. So that all kind
Yeah.
of started with me getting obsessed with Motorhead and me messaging him and saying, "Hey man, can I
Yeah.
can't come up and do some songs? So like I'd love to come up and do just a couple if you have me." And he was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I'll talk to the co-organizer. I think it was guy Anthony from Desert Highways. He was like running it that
Yeah.
year. Him and Dave ran that one together and God Awful always did the artwork. And yeah, he said, "Yeah, man, these are the songs they're doing. These are the ones they've said that you can come up and do the band."
Yeah.
So I already knew those songs, so I came up and smashed them out. And yeah, that was like eye opening because I thought the guys did a really good job that were there, but you could tell that they had been just kind of thrown together to do it and like
Yeah.
doing really well as best they could because they're all really good seasoned musicians. But you could tell that they had literally just like rehearsed that day to go through the stuff. And then like I remember
Yeah.
the sound check, they were like Benny was singing and the PA wasn't on, so they were rehearsing acoustically.
Yeah.
So he was just trying to get through it and remember, and he did a really good job actually. And yeah, that's when he was sort of said to
Doing
me, "Hey
Motorhead
man,
acoustic. Yeah,
yeah,
doing Motorhead
oh like
acoustic would
the
be weird.
yeah, like the amps were on, but no PA power. So it was like amps on, no
Yeah.
PA power, no vocals. So he was like trying to, I'm like,
Oh,
man, that must
okay.
be so bad for your voice trying to yell through other instruments.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst thing you can do. But he's such a seasoned
Yeah.
Benny from El Colosso. But yeah, he sort of passed
Mhm.
passed the torch down to me. He was like, "Hey man, I can't do it next year. I'm going to be living in Ballarat. Like, if you want to do it, I think you do a great job." And rah, rah, rah. So that's when I sort of jumped in. But one of the first things I said was, I want to have a band that does it every year, the same dude, so we can just be tight and like,
Yep.
rehearse it and get it, really good. And that's when it sort of kept building. And that's when I decided to do the
Mhm.
Lemmy Day in Adelaide on Boxing Day. So it's 2 days apart. So it gives me time to get to Melbourne. That's the only reason it's set out like that. So it's always a
Yeah.
fun day. I love all the I've got so many, like, tattoos from Lemmy Day from all the
Ah,
artists that they
yeah.
have there. I've got this, like, Rickenbacker
Yep.
one there, I don't know if you can see that. I've got
Ah,
a
awesome. Yep.
pizza one, a random pizza one that I got for Franklin's Pizza to remember if they're that great
Ah,
then.
cool.
But yeah,
Yep.
it's always a lot of fun, and it's a different crowd every year too. That's another strange thing. Like, I
Yeah.
believe it's coming back this year. I won't reveal too much on that, but there is some in the works of it returning this year. It wasn't around last year, but this year we're gonna do
Yeah, I
something
was gonna
hopefully
say, you
special.
didn't come to Melbourne last year.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
hoping
so
this
that'd
year
be
we'll
good
do
to have it back.
something for Phil Campbell. Would be really cool to do a special show for him.
Yeah.
Guitar player that
Yep.
recently passed. He was Motorhead's, like, longest
Mhm.
standing guitar player. So yeah, stoked
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
we can bring it back hopefully and, yeah, do a thing.
That sounds good. Look forward to it because yeah, we missed it last year. It was weird being
Yeah.
in Melbourne and having nothing around, yeah, Lemmy Day. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
speaking of what we were talking about singing before, I heard your new single and I really like that, how you've talked about rock and roll before. I can hear those rock and roll influences shining through in your sound. Like, it still sounds like you. I remember like when your old band opened up, headlined in Adelaide, we opened up for you. And yeah, I remember that.
That's right.
So yeah, it's cool to hear that that's obviously is that a big part of your sound for this sort of new thing, is to having that rock and roll edge?
Yeah, I think, like, I always wanted to be able to sing with more distortion. I just hadn't learned how to, and so these last few years, while I've sort of haven't been doing much musically, I was just like, I wanna get my voice to where I want it to be because I wanna be able to sing more aggressive. So, yeah, just sort of been really focusing on that, so I'm glad that it's noticeable. So, yeah, definitely been and for me as well, like, rock and metal, it's meant to, like, obviously you can sing clean, but it still needs to have some sort of power and grit behind it, and I just think it just sounds so much better when you can sing with a bit more aggression,
Yeah.
and have a bit more distortion on your voice, so, yeah, I'm really excited that I've opened that part of my voice up for myself, so, yeah, it's exciting.
That's heaps cool. You just actually reminded me of something because I've through not doing that style properly, or I think the biggest problem I've had with this style, that gritty kind of big, yelly kind of tone is, not warming up enough and then expecting to go
Yeah,
out on
yeah.
stage and be like, and just like jump into it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And I've had to really like, I remember I've lost my voice on tour doing that. And it's, I thought it was a
Mhm.
technique issue. And then I saw a few people who were like, no, 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 it's the warming up, man. You have to spend 10, 15 minutes at
Yeah,
least just warming up because you're doing stuff that's risky, like it's not clean,
yeah.
right? And I saw an ENT in Europe and he was, because in Europe you can see a ENT for free. People, you don't have to go get a
Mhm.
specialist referral, which is amazing. You should be
Ah,
that in Australia.
yeah.
For some reason, over there, they're like, yeah, if you've got the money, you can come straight through. And I saw one in Belgium and I said to him, like, am I doing anything wrong? He goes, no, no, it's just like, obviously, like, yeah, you just, I said, is there any reason why this might happen? He's like, so he said, the thing is, people, when they, like you said, they want to hear, especially in a rock and metal scenario, even in pop too, they want to hear gritty
Yeah,
overtones. They don't want to hear clean. Clean's boring.
yeah,
If they want to hear clean, they can
yeah,
hear a piano.
exactly.
There's the note.
Yeah,
There's the note. But then live, people want to
exactly.
hear a bit of edge, a bit of, and I've just done a recent recording in a little side project, which I'll unveil when the time comes. But that was one of the things the producer said. He goes, "No, I'm going to leave this bit in you. It's rock and roll. Like you got to, and that's the thing. Like it has that edge to sing like that." So, did you have much transition to moving into singing like that, or?
Not really, I actually found like, obviously, I could already sing, put some distortion on my high screams. It was just my, sort of, like, lower mid registers that I couldn't do it through. So, I actually found a video on YouTube of how to do it. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Chris Lipe or something.
Oh yeah, he's
Um,
amazing.
and oh, so good. I mean, and 'cause I
Yeah.
already, like, knew how to sing, like, it's easy for me to kind of learn a different, like, technique. And at first, it sounded so bad. I was like, "This
Oh
sounds
yeah, it
terrible,"
sounds weird at
but it
first, eh?
yeah, but it wasn't hurting my voice, and I was like, "Okay, so I'm doing it right," and I just, just have to sort of, like, just keep going, and eventually I was like, "Oh, okay, I like how this sounds." But you're right, like, definitely, like, when you're singing like that, like, I can sing some pretty high, powerful stuff without warming up if it's clean, but as soon as you go to put some grist on, it's like, no, you feel like if your voice isn't warmed up properly, or, like, if
Yeah.
you've got a little bit of a cold, like, that's the first thing that you can't do. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
if your voice is a bit rough and you go to sing with some grit, it's like, "Oh my god, I feel like I just shredded my vocal cords."
Yeah. That's right.
So, yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely have to be warm to sing like that.
Yeah, I guess I've been like I was just saying before you had learning how to do, I've always sang with heat/grit earlier on, even when I had singing lessons when I was learning how to clean sing. Still not,
Yeah.
the most amazing person at that, but I've definitely gotten better. And my singing teacher was like, "Take out the heat, just give me the note. Take out the heat, just give me the note." He used to keep
You're like,
saying
"I
that.
don't
I
know how
remember that.
to."
I don't know how to. That's just how I do things. And yeah, it's the same when I was recording with this guy because I was this recent recording I was doing with Stuart Stewart. He was like, I said, "Oh yeah, it's sounding pretty good. It's sounding a bit clean." And he just laughed at me. He's like, "Dude, do you think this is clean?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like singing notes the whole way through. There's barely any barks or yos. It's like all these actual note selections." He's like, "Yeah, but just because they're note selections, this doesn't mean it's like clean. Like you naturally sing with
Yeah,
like a lot of distortion. I can show you on the charts." Like,
yeah.
yeah, stuff like that. So it was just funny, like how some people, and Lemmy's the same. He's got a natural gritty tone in his
Oh,
voice. Even
definitely.
when he sings clean, you can still hear a bit of that in there. So,
Even when he
mm,
talks.
yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, even when he talks. So, yeah. Awesome.
Cool, cool. Is there any final words you want to mention about your new release or things to watch out for before we sort of wrap up here today?
Yeah, I guess I just wanna thank everyone for the awesome response. I was very nervous leading up to releasing the first single, and, yeah, just really excited with how it's gone, and, yeah, I'll be releasing probably 1 single every 4 to 6 weeks, and I got about 10 or 11 songs to release, so,
That's heaps
Yeah,
good.
so keep an
And
eye
you're
out for
just gonna,
those.
like, sprinkle them
Yeah.
out just like little gifts throughout the
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
"Have
just
another gift. Have another gift," and just space it out. Just keep teasing people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, so, yeah, that's pretty much what I'll be doing. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm, just gonna be, yeah, releasing these 2 singles, probably one closer to sort of August and then one towards the end of the year,
Mhm.
and then we're gonna go back up with my new project
Yeah,
in yeah, probably in sort of like towards the end of the year and record some more songs, and then, of course, Hidden Intent, we're still doing heaps of touring with Mortal Sin around Oz and overseas, playing a few festivals
yeah,
in, the UK, playing Bloodstock and like Judas Priest is on there, which is insane for me to think about. Yeah, really stoked
that's
about
exciting.
that. Yeah, and then the Motorhead thing's just like a December thing because it's always around his birth and death. So we're doing, yeah, Boxing Day.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've just booked that in 26th of December in Adelaide, the Ed Castle, and hopefully December 28th we'll go ahead in Melbourne. When I have more details, I'll share that with everyone. So, mm,
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
no worries. Well, yeah, get a dog up here, and I'll see you when I'm looking at your cat. Love your work.
Sounds good, you too.